queens that put this on? Like what? All right, so if you guys have any, especially right now, if anybody has any tobacco or any rum, we're going to be cleaning and blessing the altar right now. Okay, so Yemunya and Oshun, both deities in the Yoruba tradition, they are of beauty, of grace, reflective. You'll see some of these queens walking around with some mirrors. So within these moments, while we give thanks to Yemunya and Oshun, we ask that she graces us with our presence. We ask that they both grace us with their sweetness and their beauty that they have to offer us in many, many faces and many, many bodies. So we ask that, and while I spit this and spray it to our ancestors, giving them life through our water, of course, you can just say Ile, so you'll see. Ile, Ile, Ile. Now let's get it poppin'.
Yes. I'm a community organizer. I organize the community, and this is some organization right here. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's love. It's not beautiful the reason that we're here or the happenings of, dilapidation or gentrification or any of those things, people getting pushed out. A person is a person is a person, and everybody's important. That's the reason why we're here, because everybody deserves a sanctuary. Everybody deserves somewhere to rest. Everyone deserves life, love, and the pursuit of happiness and liberty.
I'm just like overcome. I want this to be a city where when a black woman calls for accountability and asks one question, that is answered without accountability. That we really build intersectionality in this city. We don't have time to play anymore. We're not asking for a seat at the table anymore. We are knocking down the table and we are building the table that we want. We're not coming here to ask for validation. We're not coming here to ask for your approval. We already knew who we are. We have been doing this work. We have been doing this work. It'll be us that hold everybody up. It'll be us that stay being the foundation. And it'll be us that move everything as we have been. So I just stand here to say that I thank everybody who came for me. Thank you for coming for me. We have to come for each other.
So let not one word limit you. Let not one word limit you. Let not one word label you. Let not one word limit you and your magical capabilities of communication, verbal and nonverbal. We are here. We made it all the way to today. We stay present in our power. Not one person will help us forget. For we will always remember when everything fades, when the grass dies and the trees fade, when everything fades, we will remember. And it is up to each one of us to look at each other in the eye and remind each other of each of our stories. Every story matters. Remember you. Remember you. Remember you. When anybody else forgets, you remember you and you value yourself and you take yourself up and do not be ashamed of your story, your survival, your scars. You are more than you've ever been. Bless you.
As I and we have experienced play out many times organizing our collective power in relation to this event and generally organizing as intersectional feminists, knowing our needs, trusting our experiences, our expertise, and making spaces for ourselves is what's necessary to sustain us in these times of manufactured scarcity. To do that, we mustn't allow others to force us to adhere to norms that have been used against us, such as how to show feminist unity. Dismantling the established understanding of feminist solidarity is necessary and obvious in historical context. That is well documented and discussed. Our current challenge is in our building collective capacity to invest in our intersectional justice, true justice for all of us.
I have this quote by Angela Davis. It says, "I'm no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I'm changing the things I cannot accept." We're going to go through some pretty hard times in the next 4 years, but I want everyone to stay strong and stick together and to know that we're going to get through this. We've always been getting through this, and we're going to overcome it, and we're going to make changes. We're not going to accept any of this anymore. We didn't accept it in the past, and we're going to move forward. And thank you for your time.
Sometimes I wonder if our girls are made for this world where trauma becomes armor, where stepping into the fullness of yourself is a revolutionary act of love. But sometimes I see her, feet bare in grass, running through time without having to sit still. Black girls are a single candle burning across universal continuums. They try to kill us before we grow and become sky. And some, they did. All right? So every time I say this, you say this. Say, I am you. I am you. You are me. You are me. No matter where we are on the spectrum, from the left to the middle to the right, I am you. I am you. You are me. You are me. No matter what our perspectives are on religion, culture, spirituality, sexuality, and gender, I am you. I am you. You are me. You are me. No matter where we are on the economic spectrum, I am you. I am you. You are me. You are me. Thank y'all. Peace.
I generally don't even use the word disabled. I prefer currently abled and not currently abled because disability is a spectrum and it can come as quickly as it takes to trip on a sidewalk crack and go away as completely as when you get the cast taken off. And that's a huge part of why we need to increase the inclusion of disability in the feminist dialogue. So what can we do? Plenty. Make sure feminist events are held in wheelchair accessible locations and offer Braille literature and sign language interpreters. Come to events and meetings that you think are just for people with disabilities because that could be you one day and it's awesome to be prepared. If you see some jagoff without a parking placard in a handicapped spot for 5 minutes to go get their coffee, go and tell them to move. Most importantly, do not be that jagoff.
Being raised in a Mexican-American household and coming out as a lesbian at a very young age, I've always known discrimination in one form or another. But I haven't been quite as aware of discrimination around us until especially this past year, and I think it's mostly because I have a kid and so I'm hyper aware. I have always been aware that I'm different, that the people that I choose to love are different, and the way that I choose to live my life is different. But who cares? We're all different, right? So I do believe what I told my son. Everyone standing here today will protect each other, right? We'll support each other. We'll be there for each other. And in order to do that, we must find ways to grow stronger together. We must find ways to recognize discrimination in every community, to listen to each other's point of view, and to be open and learn from each other's different experiences and backgrounds, to recognize and check our own privileges and use our privileges to help each other, to be willing to change and think more openly and lift each other up, especially those who have fewer privileges.
But you know what I thank God for the millions out that come out here to try to save this building. Because this is my home too. That was my home down there. Now I'm up here. Thank y'all for helping me save this building. Love y'all, and God loves y'all too. Now I got arthritis, I can go home and sit down.
And when I think about my childhood in Peru, I can't really help but just feel sad about it. To know that my language is dying, that the land there is dying, that my family is being pushed out, and it's very similar to what's going on here. But when I also stand here and I see all the love and support, I can't help but remember what I learned when I was a kid, and that's that the biggest thing is family, and that's what I see here.
Es increíble para mí ver cómo mis hijos a su corta edad están estimulados para seguir luchando por por la injusticia. Pues bueno, no vamos a parar aquí, vamos a seguir luchando porque la idea de Martín y la mía es hacer de los niños buenas personas a un futuro y creo que en eso lo estamos logrando. Bueno, es algo que realmente sí se puede y la clave de todo es dejar el miedo a un lado. Bueno, Martín les manda dar las gracias desde la prisión, al igual que mis hijos. Muchas gracias.